the rapper going viral for being too fat. Alright, let's see it.
Recently, Iowa-based rapper Dave Blunt has been making moves. Recently, he's appeared on prominent platforms like On The Radar and has steadily dropped 7 projects over the course of the past year. And gradually, his buzz has been building, with fans enjoying his high-pitched delivery and melodic style.
Bro, I've seen this guy everywhere. I have not heard a single one of his songs. I can't lie. He's been all over my X feed, my Twitter feed, and not a single time have I heard any of his tunes, alright? I don't listen to Blackboy Max, but I've heard Pink Dreads already, okay? I haven't watched a single Blackboy Max stream, and I've heard Pink Dreads. This guy's been on my Twitter feed, and every other timeline, more than Blackboy Max, and I've heard none of his songs, not a single one. All I hear is that he's hospitalized again, and then he's back, alright? Like, what's going on? What's the story with this guy?
After he performed his first ever show, people couldn't believe what they were seeing. Immediately, Blunt shocked everyone with the sheer size of him, and the fact that he couldn't even stand up the whole performance.
Aura. I mean, dude, he can't even get up. Like, that's crazy, man. It's gotta be difficult. Like, just doing your life, just living your life off stage, off everything. Just living normal life, doing normal everyday basics is gotta be a challenge.
In a recent interview, he revealed that he's actually been cooking in the studio for 6 years now. Everybody told me I was crazy. You know, I felt like Chicken Little, but now I really feel like Chicken Little because the sky is really falling. You know what I'm saying? After such a long time attempting to reach big audiences, Dave should be ecstatic about the position that he's currently in. But between the public's reaction to him and some persistent health issues, things likely aren't panning out the way that he hoped they would. Because for most people who've recently discovered him, the conversation is less about whether he has the talent to be a future star, but if he's going to live to see the age of 30. As footage of his inaugural life—
Bro, he's not even 30 years old. I didn't know that. Oh my goodness, he's young. He's young as well. Like, you want to start late 20s, people start having children. Like, you want to start a family in late 20s into the 30s. I mean, you can't do that when you're looking this size. I'm just saying, it's besides the making fun of him for this bit. It's just like the raw fact is, your life is much more difficult because of your weight. How are you gonna like have children like that? Or just, you know, even when you have the children, like, what are you gonna do with them? Like, how are you gonna give them a life where, you know, you can't go out and provide for them in any kind of way? It's crazy. I mean, he has to rap, but like, obviously that makes money. But I mean, providing for them, like, it says you can't go out, you can't spend weekends together, going out to the park, playing football or anything like that. Like, you are just making music. You can't do stuff. You're so immobile. It's unbelievable. And then like the trauma. Think about that trauma as well. Like, your dad's in and out of hospital all the time. That's bad. Like, that hurts. That'll hit the children pretty hard.
Live show went wild online, he was unsurprisingly in for a lot of comments about his rotund look. But while Dave must have assumed that the internet would have had a field day with that, one thing that he likely didn't expect was that a hip-hop legend would be taking shots at him. Under a video of Dave performing, Snoop Dogg came out of nowhere to give him some unsolicited advice. Well, put down the chicken wings and the Tata chips, nephew, and that chair gonna break soon. Get to the end of the cup. Clearly, this assessment from Snoop struck a chord with Dave because soon he took to Instagram to tell the Dogfather that he didn't deserve that and to clap back at Snoop for playing a sexual abuser in the hood classic Baby Boy. I'm actually a very good guy. I take care of my family, I put my friends into positions to win, and I'm chasing my dreams every day. Despite his best efforts—
Alright, maybe I'm wrong then. Maybe I'm yapping away. Maybe he can do that. Maybe he can take care of his family, his friends, and everyone around him just fine. Like, I don't know, but I think there's more as a dad, like more to being a dad than just monetary looking after people. Like, you need to be there. You need to be like doing activities. You need to be like making life decisions with them, guiding them properly. And if you're immobile, that locks you out of a lot of that kind of stuff. Like, I don't know how he's attending teacher-parent conferences. You know, I don't know how he's going out, spending weekends with his children, like building memories, making experiences, and like having experiences and that kind of stuff. So, I mean, if he's doing it, but I'm struggling to find it. I don't know how you would.
Dave couldn't put this behind him or leave it at that. So he took a bold step of dissing Snoop from the stage at Juice Wrld Day.
Hey, Chicago, do y'all have a problem with me sitting down on this stage? Yeah. Exactly. Get the
Right off the bat, he tried to explain why he'd talk about a legend like that.
And as far as the Snoop Dogg shit, yeah, I mean, that's real. You know, I had got on the first altercation we had, I got on the stage and he said, you know, put down the chips, put down the all that other shit. And I'm just like, my whole thing about that, why I didn't like that was because that was a very proud moment. You know, that was my first time performing and I didn't do nothing to nobody. I didn't say anything to anybody. I just performed, achieved my goals, and that was a really proud moment for me. And so for me to get online the next day and to see people shame me for that, I don't necessarily feel like that's cool.
And for his part, Snoop actually laughed it off.
That was funny. Go ahead, little homie. I mean, big homie. Do your thing, cuz. I ain't fucking with you. Have your fun.
But that's good that he took it the right way. I mean, look, I get what Dave's saying here, where he's saying like, you know, on my proudest moment, my best day, like I was finally on the come up, and then I get hate. No, I mean, it's definitely rough, like receiving news on your best day. Like that's a fair enough point. All right, can't argue with that. You just want to enjoy the time. He's made the come up. He's been 6 years where he's been making music and stuff. Like, you know, he wants to just get there and enjoy the moment. And one day, you know, fine, fair enough. And he's getting hate. It's tough. It's fair enough, right? But, you know, is Snoop making like a valid point? Yes. I mean, come on now. Everyone looks and everyone sees who you are. Like, you know, the health problems that you obviously have. You know, is he saying it in a bit of a hater way? Maybe. I don't know. The comment wasn't that harsh, but the sentiment is definitely like the right one. It's kind of a, you know, look out for your health. Make sure you stick around for longer because people need you. But then, you know, I actually think it's sick that Snoop Dogg like took it really well. Right? When Dave pushed back a little bit on the stage, live in front of everyone, and you know, everyone kind of laughed it off. And then Snoop's out there like just making a joke about it. Like, yeah, all right, that's exactly the way you need to handle it. You made your point. He's kind of came back at you a little bit, and you both had a little bit of a push, and now you're good. I think that's really, really good. I think that's a really nice way for it to be.
But when you realize that Dave wasn't just sitting down again during this performance, but was literally hooked up to an oxygen tank while doing it, it's no wonder why the internet completely backed Snoop and agreed that he had a valid point.
Because like y'all might not notice this, like he couldn't even hold his breath up long enough to sing his own song. Then like this girl came on whenever she realized that. You know, Snoop Dogg wants to call him a fat ass. Snoop Dogg's right. Snoop Dogg at the end of the day, he's like 50, 60 years old, still going around doing shit all the time. This dude's never gonna be 50, 60 years old. He's losing fucking weight. He couldn't even sing his song, even sitting down. Okay, he's 23 years old.
In the process, he
no
even woke
shot
up.
He's 23 years old. There's no actual way he's 23, bro. That is crazy. Hooked up to oxygen, in and out of hospital all the time. Dude, you have not lived like, you've lived a fraction of what you're meant to be living, right? Your life. We are so lucky with the healthcare we have right now. We should be living to like 90 years old. You are not looking like you're going to hit 50, right? Don't make sure you're not that guy, please.
Besides that, Dave also can't do an interview without his weight coming up as one of the main topics.
I'm like, yo, this dude's voice is angelic. It's crisp. It sounds 300 pounds lighter.
Right.
I didn't know it was you.
What do you mean 300 pounds lighter? How do you sound skinny?
Well, you just sound angelic. You just sound like...
I'm trying to see if I should be offended by that or not.
Technically, you shouldn't. I don't think, because that just means that you're able to sound so much better than you look.
Yeah.
You know,
type shit.
Despite the fact that he has 7 albums out and a viral hit with his track The Cup, alongside other notable tracks, music is generally not the first, second, or third thing that anyone wants to ask him about. Because across the board, they are more interested in his condition than anything else.
In one of your songs, you said every time you fly, you have to buy 2 seats.
Yeah.
Is that all right?
That's real. Yeah, that's real. I gotta take 2 seats. Yeah, man. That shit is.
I was wondering, like, where do you shop at to get your clothes and shit?
Mainly like places online is where I get my clothes. Yeah.
You got like.
Damn, like that is actually rough. Like you've just making music. Your whole career is dedicated to making music, and then every interview you go on to is just like talk about your weight, making comments about your weight, making jokes about it, asking about like that's kind of hit. That's a hard hit. But at the end, on the other end of that is also the fact that you are extraordinary for the weight. Like that is not something. It's a standout thing. All right, that you are able to tour around, make music, go to concerts, being the way that you are, looking the way that you are, and so naturally, of course, that's going to draw attention. And if you only have one hit song, like I'm not saying only, like one hit song is phenomenal. I could not do that. Let's be real. But you're not like a Kendrick, right? You haven't got like banger after banger after banger, right? So there's only so many. There's only so often you can talk about the same song in a podcast. So I mean, of course, everyone's going to ask about your life, and even other people like Kendrick, if they go on a podcast, I'm sure they'll talk about other things than just the music. It's like, oh, the inspiration behind it, your life, that kind of stuff, the other influences. And that obviously for Dave is the weight thing, you know, like that's part of his life.
But amid all of this progress that he's making, the big problem is that the attention he gets from his weight comes with a higher price than just a few jokes. In recent months, Dave has been making repeated visits to the hospital, even trying to record from there to ensure that his momentum doesn't slow down too much. As he recently revealed, his health problems date back to his high school days, as he's always been on the bigger side.
Why were you in the hospital?
I had like severe asthma. I think I was at school and I passed out and they couldn't wake me up, and I ended up having like pneumonia, some shit like that.
But as the strain of carrying that kind of excess weight continued to spiral out of control, he has already suffered life-threatening issues.
All right, they're literally, okay, so a lot of people are saying like, all right, he's getting the gym, he needs to start running, he needs to do work, like that kind of stuff. That is a ton more difficult to do when you got asthma, you got pneumonia, when you're kind of vulnerable to those things that will stop you from being able to lose that weight. Now, it's not impossible. Let's not go too far the other way with that. Let's not say it's impossible, because it's definitely not. But it just has to be a more considered route. Now, hopefully, this guy has now got a little bit of money because he's got a hit song and he's got some tracks, he's got some albums with some famous people coming out. Like he's got a little bit of notoriety. He should be hopefully doing all right. He has to, like, honestly, the first thing if I knew him would be to say like, all right, you need to sort the weight out. That's the number one thing. Like diet and some exercise. Some exercise that is not going to cause you a further health complication, and diet. Like honestly, get a chef, get a dietitian, a nutritionist, get them to work together, bang, throw you something out. And don't mess up. Don't mess up the diet, all right? Because you'll burn calories, but you just need to put the right things in.
And at the age of 23, Dave has already come back from the brink of heart failure.
Yeah, I made that song while I was in the hospital. So I was actually in my hospital bed. My mom brought my studio equipment to the hospital, and shit, I was cooking up while I was in there. Learned how to walk again and shit like that. Had a catheter in, all that shit. So
Why were you in the hospital?
Heart failure.
Damn.
And if that wasn't a wake-up
Oh
call,
my goodness, bro. Heart failure is terrible. That's like your last call is heart failure. Like, you know, that's God saying you have one more chance, buddy. So this guy's been warned. This guy has been warned, in all fairness.
as much as he's tried to be comical about it, it's clear that he is incapable of grinding to the degree that he'd like because of all these issues stemming from his health. But that isn't because he's happy with it or trying to be some tale of body positivity. In fact, Dave has publicly stated that he wants to change, although he is under no illusion that the problem doesn't lie with him.
Is that something that you struggle with, or do you just love yourself and you're like, F it, this is who I am?
Yeah, I'd say it's something that I struggle with, yeah. But I'm working on it, you know what I'm saying? I plan, hopefully after this album drops, I can sign a deal and, then I'll have the money to, get a personal trainer, you know what I'm saying? All that shit.
Do you like overeat, or do you have more like a glandular thing going on?
Well, it's not a glandular thing. I don't know what that is. But.
Well, it's like people it's either like you're kind of doing it to yourself, or like some people have kind of like a health condition.
I'd say it's definitely me doing it to myself, yeah.
At the moment, Dave.
All right, well, at least he knows, and that's good news as well. Like secretly, I know what you're saying, but he's got a plan. Like he knows he needs to get better. It's the first thing he wants to do once he signs with a record label. All right, amazing, love that. Second thing, it's not like a medical issue in terms of like it's not his body causing him to not be able to work out or not be able to like or just make him put on weight a last time. It's genuinely him. He's admitted it's him, right? But that's good because that means there's nothing holding him back from changing. If he changes and he gets in the gym, he eats right, he can definitely change. And I actually reckon that would be so good. Like 100% that would be so good for him.
Just as the song says, he says that his claims that he can't relinquish lean is based on his own real addiction to the purple drink.
Don't go down the rabbit hole, kids.
Yeah.
See where it leads you. 600 pounds.
Wow.
And not being able to put down the cup.
Oh, so that's a real thing. You can't put down the cup.
Yeah.
Over recent months,
That's really tough, bro. Fighting addiction on top of all of it is rough, and he's admitting that's where it comes from. Like that's the source. I'm not too like clued up on the drugs things, and people have big debates about like, oh, should you legalize some drugs, all drugs, this drug, that drug? Like I don't really know, but I mean, he's saying here he's got a pretty good alibi for like why you shouldn't legalize some of these drugs. Like I don't know. He's kind of speaking out against it, and he seems right. Like I don't know, I can take him seriously for that one. I think he's on the point. He's on the money.
This is only part of the deception that people feel he's carrying out, because to many people online, his love of lean doesn't come across as authentic, and they even think that he's exposed himself several times. These days, Dave is closely associated with the cough syrup. Apparently, he's even getting free lean because of it.
Since you gotten big making music, have you noticed that people try to tax you more for lean?
No, the opposite. I go to these studio sessions and they're like, here's a free pint. Just, they're giving me free lean. And this shit is unheard of. Nobody, they don't do.
Bro, you're just in the music, like you're in the music booth and then you're just drinking lean? I mean, okay. I'm not into like rap culture at all, so maybe that's just a standard thing. But that seems crazy. Like, surely when you're trying to work, you're trying to work. I don't. Like, do you want to be drinking lean? I mean, okay. I guess they do what they do.
His love of lean has led the Iowa rapper to be accused of jacking a style. In recent months, Dave has refused frequent comparisons to Big Mo, another heavyset rapper with a similar image, who was also known for his love affair with lean. Despite the obvious similarities, Dave has insisted that he doesn't know who one of the leading lights of the iconic Screwed Up clique is. But Houston legend Paul Wall isn't buying it, and says that he has to pay homage if he ever wants to be respected in H-Town.
You know, I mean, somebody coming from Houston, from Texas, it's, you know, we see his whole style, which it looks like a junior Big Mo. Who Big Mo is from the Screwed Up clique. He was also large like that, had very similar hairstyle. Used to always wear the velour stuff, you know, velour suits. He had, you know, his whole stuff was purple stuff. He had a song called Purple Stuff, album called Purple Stuff. So when I see Dave Blunt's rocking the purple stuff, rocking the velour suits, we see somebody who, you know, might have been influenced from Big Mo, but then he came out saying he never even heard of Big Mo. So us from Houston, we're like, well, how you don't never heard of him, but you got your whole style?
That's true. That's true. There's some similarities here. You know, yeah, okay, I don't know. I mean, people might just be making up conspiracies, right? This guy obviously has health problems. All right, obviously. Okay, he's obviously got something going on, and maybe the fact that he's on lean, drinking lean all the time, is preventing him from eating a good diet. I have no idea. I don't know. Or working out. I don't know how it works. But to then go and say the whole brand is fake. I mean, it could be. I don't know. I mean, to be honest, do I really care? Like, no, not really. Like, if he's a musician, right, and he makes music, and his whole job is to make music, I care whether the music is good and whether I like listening to it. Okay, and if I don't like those two things, I don't really care. Even if I do like to do those two things, there are a lot of people I have on my playlist that I listen to that I just don't follow in real life. You know. On my day-to-day, I don't follow them on Instagram, on Twitter, or anything. Like, they could post something, I don't see it. I enjoy their music, but that doesn't mean I need to know every intricate detail of their life, you know. And let's say Dave Blunt is completely lying, right? He has never had a partner called Madison. He's never had sip lean, and he just wears the purple because he copied the guy from Texas. Does that matter? Does that matter in any way? Does that affect anyone's life in any real way? Or do we all just go, wow, that's shocking, and then shut our phones down and go and talk to our families? Like, does that really affect people? I'm surprised how interested people are in this subject and why it's causing so much controversy. Like, it doesn't seem to be a big deal either way. Why does it matter what kind of branding this guy has? It's all about the music.
The issues Dave faces are twofold, as aside from the obvious issues of ensuring he's healthy enough to actually carry out his dreams, he needs to strike while he has the world's attention too. Because unfortunately, his size isn't going to be enough to keep people's attention if they don't take the time to actually listen to his music. And as of right now, his vitality is tied to his weight, and it's working to the point that it's expanding beyond hip-hop.
This all kind of seems...
Look, that's so right. Like, he's been handed the golden ticket, all right? He's been handed the golden ticket. He's going to get signed by a label. He's going to get albums done with famous people. And everyone knows him. He's all over timelines. He's all over Everyone knows what's going on, and okay, he's relevant. Golden ticket. He's getting the money. He's getting in the bag. He now has to make sure that the golden ticket remains, okay? Don't let that disintegrate. Don't let the up be so high. Don't become a Haley Welch, right? Where you get your 5 seconds of fame and you try and draw it out and you just end up fizzling out with hopefully without a crypto scam, but allegedly. But seriously, he needs to make sure that he's got longevity and that he makes music in a way that keeps people interested. All right, keep making bangers, keep making albums, get some good people on it, get some good people in the corner, know how to handle this so that it doesn't fizzle out. All right, that's the most important thing. It's dangerous having a blow up. There are a lot of people who get blow ups and then just fizzle out. The hardest thing to do is to blow up and then maintain the audience. Keep people interested. That's the hardest thing to do, I promise.
Seems like it's intended to go viral. Like he's on stage with the fucking oxygen tank. That doesn't seem like it's like an accidental thing.
No.
That he's out there looking like that. So I feel like this has got to be at least partially a play, but it's like it's working unbelievably well because I'm even seeing like right-wing commentators. I swear I just saw like Matt Walsh of What Is a Woman, of the Daily Wire, basically like attacking him for not even attacking him, but just acknowledging like this is not healthy, this is insane, this is out of control.
To keep the world locked in, he has to urgently readdress that balance, because it's gonna take a lot more than being viewed as a meme for him to have the career that he wants. But unfortunately, he's still trying to combat that at the moment.
Yes, I am on oxygen currently. As you guys seen, I was in the hospital a few days before my Juice Wrld show, and they said, you're gonna need to be on oxygen and you're gonna have to stay in the hospital. And I said, no, there's no way I'm missing this. Is there any way that I can do the show? And they said, well, if you take oxygen with you, we can okay you to leave the hospital.
Okay.
And I'm like, all right, bro, I'm not gonna stop nothing from achieving my dreams and achieving my goals.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying?
Bro, this guy has a difficult road ahead of him. I'm interested to see where he goes from here. I'm not exactly sure. Like he could make some banger tunes. He could get a massive following. Could get on the healthy train, like shed it like crazy, and just be like an insane story for a lot of people where he had stuff stacked against him and he made it anyway. And that could be a great story. But I can also see it also going the other way where it's just like he had that great come up, he had a lot of promises made, and then boom, he falls off. Like, you don't really hear from him again, you fizzle out kind of thing. I really hope the first one happens. But, just for his sake, for his family's sake, for the people that rely on them, for their sake. But, you just don't know. So I guess we'll keep an eye on him. We'll keep figuring out what's happening. But, thank you for watching. Thank you very much for watching. And my last video, if you want to check it out, it's me watching a Jubilee video where we have teens. It's like 6 teens. One of them is 30 years old, though. And I have to try and figure out which one's 30 years old. It's really interesting, okay? Because it's not obvious at all. It's not obvious at all. So go on. It's going to be linked in the end card. See if I'm right. See what you think about it. See if you can do better than I did. Or unless we tie and I got it. Who knows? But yeah, honestly, go check it out. That'd be great. And have a great day. Have a great day. Thank you.